everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you.
With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. 8 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Third down, Fields. Throw left side, complete. It's Norman.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 16 carries, 101 yards.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
On the run, this is Hunt. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
He's got a first down past the 30. And now nothing but green ahead of him. A big play that time for the Titans. 52 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
On first down, Fields. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Able to push his way through, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Fields. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Norman. The 3rd down run gets him nothing.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now, the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
54 miles. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On 3rd down, Jackson. The open man is Shark. It's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On 2nd and 11 now, Jackson over the middle, and it's incomplete. Vincent Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On second down, here's Fournette. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though, 3rd and long. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another third down conversion. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Kareem Hunt, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talked...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that pushes the lead up to 11. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Fields. And this one complete to Smith. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
Mike, 45. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
On 1st and 10, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. From the gun, Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. This is Hunt. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Here's Jackson on third and long. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
With it is Jackson. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Titan football. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
But right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
See if he can do just that. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run with Hunt on second down. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Here we go. Here we go. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Right.
From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here's Jackson. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Fields. Got him in. It's Brown. Touchdown, Titans. A.J. Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Throwing to start the drive. Fields uncorks one for Davis. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off at the 24. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. Buying time is left. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've come upon half. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On 2nd and 10, Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one? That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. On first down, Norman. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Looking to throw. Fields. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And all the way down to the 42. A big play that time for the Titans. 47 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Room to run inside the 40. And the cutback to the sideline. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Titans are going to retake the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson is going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
The tackle by Quincy Williams. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Norman. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Taking it about the 36. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and it's 3rd down. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Now Jackson. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball. And he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Fields. It's caught, Humphreys. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. To throw again. Fields. And he finds Corey Davis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Norman, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Norman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Fields going to throw deep. Got a man, it's Humphreys. Touchdown, Tennessee. Adam Humphries. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Jackson. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 27-yard line. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Kill. Hey, turn it out.
Jackson Griffith, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Got his man, it's Eifert. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Switch up.
On first down, Norman. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
Right. 51 combined. I got you, boy.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Norman. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Jackson on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And that is incomplete. Adoree Jackson right there, step for step in coverage. So now it's left in the hands of their defense to come up with an immediate stop.
And this is where you count on your stars on defense. Can they come up with a game-altering play here? Can they knife through into the backfield and pop the ball free? Can they make that type of a play that gives them another opportunity? And what do we say? One timeout. Yeah. But you get a second
2-minute warning.
With a 2-minute warning, so they've got to use those well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. On second down now, it's Norman. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Looking to throw. Fields. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now Jackson to throw on third down. Looking long. It got his man. Complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 43 yards. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Fournette, first down, still going. And all the way down to the 5. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Kareem Hunt with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for two here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
First down. Here's the run with Montgomery. Touchdown, Titans. Ty Montgomery. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now the Jags down by 8, under a minute 20 to go. Their 5-game winning streak hanging in the balance here. Two yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
No timeout. You got to go quick here.
On 4th down, Hunt, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Kevin Byard, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raider, gets the sack. So that one hurt.